Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles.
You're doing way too much. Sometimes it's good to be subtle, but that's gonna be way off beat. But
is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see if our editor can make it happen. Our producer, he usually make it happen. So
I don't have the rhythm anyway, so I wouldn't be able to tell.
Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Porterway Podcast. We are back remotely doing this bad boy because I'm in Connecticut at the Olympic Games. Not officially at the games, but I'm recording remotely from Connecticut. So Here we are. Ant Bernal, Carson A. Merck. I'm gonna ask a question right after this, but Shawn Zittel, does it? I say y'all first and last name every time. Is that cool, or should I just is it time to just cut it off and it's Carson and Shawn?
However you feel, man. It's your show.
No, man, I like the first last name. Makes us feel official.
Uh-oh.
Zitel's over there. He's pedaling a bike to try to power his Wi-Fi.
It got coal in the attic. Somebody put coal in the attic.
He also knows Cox communications is the worst shit ever.
That's fair.
We have a guest today, so let's get him in.
Oh, we getting right into it.
This is a special guest.
Hey,
this is a special guest too.
Hey, live from the top. We starting at the top, and it's gonna be live. Okay, so if you ain't got your energy, get off this podcast.
Right? Yeah, improving the 14-0, 12 KOs. He'll be in here in just a second. A character. Becoming one of the big characters in this sport of boxing right now.
The best heel in boxing.
Oh man,
what you call it?
Heel. That's like a WWE term, like the bad guy.
Oh,
he's the best.
I can agree with that.
It plays into the T.
I got to get him right.
Find him a lovable heel.
Absolutely.
Hulk Hogan.
Rolly Romero.
Uh-oh.
What the? I didn't know I was still on. I looked away and yeah. How you guys doing?
What's up, Rolly?
All right, man.
We solid, boss, man. We talking about the kind of character you are, man. What's going on?
No, nothing. I'm good. I'm just chilling.
Yeah, you just you.
I'm just me.
Are you the best villain in boxing?
I don't know if I'm a villain. I don't know if I'm a hero. I just don't want to whip some ass. That's all.
Hey, let's define that right quick, because I agree. He says boxing needs people like you. Define or describe who you are to boxing.
Well, I mean, shoot, there's no mystery that I keep things in boxing entertaining. There's no mystery in that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we need entertaining fighters. We need entertaining fights, and a lot of these fighters, they ain't doing it.
Yeah.
As simple as that. They're not catching the attention of everybody else, and that's why boxing is dying.
Yeah. That's
why boxing is slowly dying, because it's just a bunch of boring fights that everybody know who's going to win, no knockouts, none of that stuff. And, nobody wants to sit down and watch a fucking 12-round fight of people. How do I say it? Nobody wants to watch a 12-round fight of nothing happening.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, yeah, I agree. Let me ask you this. When you say, first off, let me ask you, do you think that the sport of boxing, you said it's slowly dying. Do you really do feel that it's slowly dying, or is that kind of what you just kind of saying what other people say about the sport?
No, I feel like it's dying. I feel like a lot of our fans have crossed over to MMA. And, I mean, at least MMA, if a fight's boring, a lot of it's over a lot quicker than a boxing fight,
Right. And then the other side of that question, sorry to cut you off, but the other side is responsibility. Now we're talking about responsibility because you're a WBA interim champion and you are the future of boxing. So the responsibility to not allow this sport to die is in a lot of ways it rests in your hands. If you know what I'm saying?
Man, I tell you, as long as I stay in the sport's going to stay a little bit entertaining,
Yeah.
I'll find a way to make it entertaining some way, somehow. I mean, just my personality alone is good for boxing.
Yeah.
Or wouldn't you guys agree?
I would agree for sure.
Definitely.
Right.
Hey, man,
yeah.
Go ahead, Carson.
No, I was going to say, so my question is.
I'm like, hold on. Y'all just jumped. He said, oh, would y'all agree? Y'all, yeah.
Oh, no, I agree. I mean, we talked about it last week. Yeah, he's as entertaining as anybody. My question is, so when you say the stuff that you say, whether you believe it or not, I'm not going to question that. Does it almost add a little, not motivation, but a little pressure on yourself? Like if you say, hey, I'm going to knock out whoever, or, I could beat Tank Davis. Does that maybe motivate you even more to get in there and do it?
Man, I believe every single thing I say. As simple as that. I believe every little thing I say. And does it motivate me? Well, yeah, because I don't want to look like a fucking idiot. So
that's kind of what I was thinking.
But I go after, the thing about me is and I've always been like this, even since I was a kid. I go after things that other people would never go after. All that stuff, my dad would always tell me, he's like, and it's just like, it's more of like more of a curiosity, of what will happen, after that, because, it's always like, I'm not supposed to do that. I shouldn't be able to do that. All that stuff, it's always been a curiosity of like, what if it happens? What if it, so I mean, that motivates me more than anything, just that I just want to see what happens, Like I'm telling you, my pops would always tell me, hey, if you see my dad was like, always like, hey, if you pass by a group of guys across the street or something, cross the street so you don't have to like interact with them. And I stay on the same side of the street just to see if something would happen. Yeah. That's the guy, like I would, I test myself to like a lot of boundaries that I probably shouldn't test myself. So.
Yeah.
And it goes in a lot of different aspects in life, so.
Hey, Rolly, how long the WBA is going to deny you, man? You got T.O. got a, super champ. Then you got, you know how it goes. Delante Davis, a champ. Then you got the Russian guy. Was it Roman, a champ? So what's up, man? When they going to give you a shot? You got to get one of those three guys.
I don't even know who the Russian dude is.
Yeah, I know. Ask Shawn Zittel. He knows. I guarantee you. Shawn?
Don't bring me into it. No, I know. I think he got switched up, Ant, because I know Rolly has the interim, Gervonta has the regular, and Teofimo has the super world. So
and the Russian guy has the gold.
Well, go ahead.
He has a gold?
He has a gold. It says a WBA gold champion.
I thought that was Mendy.
Nope. Hey, you know how it goes. Don't even try to figure it out, Rolly. Don't even try to figure it out, man.
I don't really care that much, honestly. If I fight whoever, it doesn't matter.
I was about to ask, do you care about I know you care about your money, but I mean like the business side of it in terms of who they're gonna put you in the ring with.
Like, I'm gonna tell you this. I never once asked how much I was gonna make, who I was fighting, or any of that shit.
Yeah.
Until I fought for the world title.
Yeah.
I never once asked about how much money I was gonna make or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because to me, all that money was irrelevant.
Yeah.
And to me, it still is.
Yeah. Because
I mean, it's not hard to make money outside of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not every millionaire is a fucking boxer.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, fucking boxers are kind of broke compared to everybody else.
I drive down some streets in Vegas and I'm like, what are they doing with their lives that they got all this and I got to get punched to get what I got? You know what I mean? So I get that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't need money to be, you don't need to be boxing to make money.
Yeah.
So why, on the other hand, why do you need to be boxing to make money?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't correlate, but money and boxing are two completely different things.
Mm.
So
that's how I feel.
Go ahead, Shawn.
No, well, like you mentioned, like you don't have to fight to make money. I know you find ways to make money outside of boxing. So if it's not really money, and I know you started boxing late. You were in judo, winning tournaments and competing in judo, and then you start boxing late. So how much does greatness matter to you? Because Devin and Ryan and Tio and them, they were fighting as little kids, dreaming about the WBC belts and the WBA belts, and here you are starting late. Like, is it Is it more about snatching their dreams from them than it is becoming this great boxer, this great fighter? Or what do you think about all that, Rolly?
I tell you, my original goal was, I want to go to the Olympics, and I mean, that didn't work out the way I wanted. So, I mean, but they could go off,
How'd that work out for you? Like, what was going on with that? I
shut both this dude's eyes, and they took the fight from me.
Wow.
And he couldn't even fight the next day. Wow. So they go themselves.
Yeah.
But
sorry.
So you let them know that, Shawn.
Yeah, sorry, Aiva.
But that's something else, So then, like I said, I mean, my goal is to become a world champion. And I did that, and it wasn't it. It wasn't it. Mm-hmm. So now I got a new mission, which was, my mission from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
Like, from, just expose all these fucking phonies. Simple as that. I want to expose every single one of them. And then after I do that, well, I'll find a new goal. But right now, that's my goal. Just expose every single one of these phonies.
Well, let's hear who's the phonies. Let's hear it.
Yeah, that's how I was going to say, Carson. Let's go.
I mean, shit. Right now on my list, there's Devin and Tank. Those are the two I want to expose right now.
Okay.
Those are the two I want to expose right now. Man, that would bring me so much fucking to knock them motherfuckers out. Just to shut them motherfuckers up, all their fucking dick riders, all their fucking groupies, just to shut everybody the fuck up. That would be better than anything.
You prefer beating one to the other?
Yeah.
I think Devin's much more of a phony.
No, that ain't the question. The question is, would you prefer to fight?
We feel like
I think based on that answer, he would say Devin.
Yeah, Devin. That's the one but like I said, to me, I'd gain more by fucking knocking out Tank. Yeah. I'd gain a lot more by knocking out Tank.
Yeah. And you know what? And in good conscience, like I can't sit here and let it ride. Like I don't believe that Tank's a phony. I believe that Tank's the real deal.
In my eyes, he's a phony.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I know that you as a fighter, like I'm not there, so I don't really have to keep my mind at a certain point to get in the ring with him. But like if I'm looking at a guy like Terence Crawford or a guy like Errol Spence Jr. or something like that, like I figure out ways to twist my eyes and my head up, so that I can look at them with a little bit of animosity. But so yeah, I'm coming from a different place and saying, I don't really think he's a phony.
I know a few things. I know a few things.
Hey, listen, and you've been up through there. You know what I mean? You've been through that TMT, so you know what it is.
I know a few things, and I miss things that I'm not saying that they're negative, all that stuff. I'm just saying, just the way I look at it, it's all fucking fake.
Yeah,
it's all fake.
Hey, Rolly, man. Fake as it might be, that power ain't fake. He will knock Jesus out if he has to.
Like I said,
he ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do that.
I gotta give him that. He does punch hard.
He punch.
Yeah, he does punch.
And that boy Rolly strong too. So
oh yeah.
I can't give him that though. He does punch hard. Yeah. I'm very impressed with him. I'm impressed with him in other aspects, man. He's from a really bad place, man. For him to make it out, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's obviously not the smartest person in the world, So I mean, he had no other option but to, he might even be punch drunk right now.
Man.
Hold on,
He might even be punch drunk right now, but like I said, you gotta admire him that he actually did something,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Rolly, more than them being frauds though, or anything like that, wouldn't it really just mean like you're a great fighter? You'll have to be a great fighter more than them being less than, isn't that more what would have to happen? More than them being frauds, you would have to be a great fighter to knock them guys off.
I think I am a great fighter. But like I said, I'm never going to get that I'm not going to get that recognition for who I am until I do it because I didn't come up in the amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fucking Olympian. I'm not a fucking prized amateur that's had so much given to them from the beginning. I came out of fucking nowhere, did it with less fights than everybody else. I did it. I grabbed both my balls and I just went fucking forward. And that's why I'm where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other reason. I'm mentally stronger than all of them. Just the way I say it. Just the way I carry myself. I know that if I hit any of these motherfuckers, and when I hit any of these motherfuckers, they're all going out. Simple as that. And they're going to all choke under the pressure that I put on them. Not just physically, but mentally. And that's how boxing is. It's all a mental game.
And Rolly, I've heard stories about you knocking people in camp. What's the biggest fighter you knocked in camp? You don't say the name. Don't say the name. Don't say. Let's not put out no names.
A good number of world champs. They're like a good number of world champs.
Weight class. What's the highest weight class?
Let me think. I mean, there's a 140-pound world champ right now. There's two. This dude.
There's
only one champ.
There's three.
I know. I'm like, don't do this, man.
There's three. There's. I dazed the fuck out of. Man, the list goes on, man. I'm telling you, like 3 of them are 140 fighters right now. I just say it like this, and
don't say the name. Don't say it, man.
I'm not saying no. And like, this is me being dead honest. Oh, a 147 pounder.
Oh, okay.
They also strength and conditioning coached by Larry Wade.
Oh, this one didn't knock out, but this one I hurt severely.
Oh.
Cool. I'll be mad if you put my guy SP down. But you guys never together or anything.
Nah, he don't want to get in the ring with me.
Oh,
I'm scared. I'm scared of that pressure.
Told you.
Hey, I'll tell you this: Shawn always make an entertaining fight, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Every single one of Shawn fight entertaining.
Hey, listen, when we first got on and you was talking about how fighters ain't entertaining no more and how fights go 12 rounds, I'm like, dang, all my fights go 12 rounds. And then he said, nobody wants to put on entertaining fights. I was like, oh, but my fights are entertaining.
They are entertaining. Yeah, I can't even say anything about that. All your fights are entertaining.
Yeah, man.
You go in there trying to fucking murder somebody.
Yeah, I be out my mind a little bit. I am out of my mind a little bit when I'm in the ring. What about you?
Yeah, you having a good time in there, huh?
What about you? You out of your mind a little bit when you in there?
No, I'm really focused. I don't know why.
Like this Yigit kid, the Yigit kid that you just fought. A few times you swung really hard and missed. And I put myself in that position. I was like, I would have been thinking like, I just almost like, dude, does that thought, like, do you have them thoughts of, I almost got you?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
You're much more calm. Like,
well, the thing is, to me, I feel when I'm in the ring, I feel I'm at peace.
Yeah.
Now, there was a moment where I was pissed off, though.
Yeah.
After, because I had hurt him. Right? And I go for the finish, right? And the fucking ref wants to defend him and take a point from me. I'm just like, look at the ref. I'm just like, wait, what? The motherfucker's hurt. Yeah. I'm like, let me knock him. I look him in the eye. I'm like, all right, hurry up, take my fucking point away. So I knock him out. The second they take my point away, I walk up, boom, boom. And I drop him. I'm like, this should have happened 15 seconds ago.
He's like, you can have the points move. You can have the points move.
I was like, I don't give a fuck about the point. Like, I'm winning every single round. Like, you think I give a fuck about a damn point?
Wow.
Like, just hurry up, take that shit so I can fucking go knock this motherfucker out.
Hey, Rolly, speaking of how focused you was, I seen my man one time, he did a 360 around you went all the way around your back.
And I'll pop him with a jab.
Yeah, you just cocked the whole time like, all right, what you gonna do? He stopped. Boom! I was like, this dude.
Yeah, I got some crazy peripherals. Like I see some things, but I mean, sure. I used to do that. I used to do that a lot. You know, back when I was an amateur, I do that shit a lot. Now, you know, it's a little bit. People don't. Man, there's another 140-pounder. I did that shit. I beat the fuck out of him. That's pretty well known.
Oh man, this dude right here.
Listen, man, we gonna let you go, man.
I'm telling you, man. Y'all gonna get me to start snitching. I'm not gonna be snitching.
Don't do that,
man. Shit. If we're off stream, I'd tell you. but like, I tell you like this, man.
Are you getting in the ring before the end of the year?
No, I know some things that other people don't know.
Are you getting in the ring before the end of the year?
Shit, I don't even know. Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah. No, that's what I was asking. Is that what you want? We know, a lot of times they don't work on our time, but you want to get back in the ring for the end of the year.
Maybe December.
Yeah.
And I'm not in no rush.
Yeah. That's why.
I'm not in no rush. I think rest and being away from boxing is just as good as being in boxing.
Mm.
Boxing is
batters.
Boxing's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you quit boxing on Twitter a couple days ago.
Yeah, I quit boxing every day.
Sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Yeah, boxing is toxic.
Hey, Rolly, next time you're on, man, you gotta let the people know about your dad and how he came to this country and all that, man. People gotta know that story.
Motherfucker swam.
Listen. We'll end on that. Let's end on that.
Motherfucker swam.
So tell everybody. I don't even think people realize that you're a Cuban American.
Yeah, go ahead and tell that story.
I thought I was black.
No, you're not black.
I thought he was mixed, black and white.
Yeah. So let's hear the story right quick. Where you from? Where your dad's from? How he got here to the States and all that.
My dad. Well, I mean, Cuba's fucked up right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's seen that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's start off with this. It's fucked up. I can't even send my own family money.
Yeah.
Because they closed off everything, so I can't even send them money.
Yeah.
And even with the money they do have, they cannot buy anything because there's literally nothing to buy.
Mm.
Money is literally just a fucking piece of paper right now.
Mm.
Mm.
That's
sad.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad's from Santiago de Cuba. I mean, there's a lot of world champions from there. There's a lot of Olympic gold medalists. That and Guantanamo have the most medalists in the entire, and they're right next to each other. They're 45 minutes away.
He ran through the system, didn't he? Boxing wise.
He's 3-time national champion. He's from he's from Trocha.
Yeah.
A lot of Enrique Corrion, Emilio Correa, a lot of fighters came from over there, A lot of them.
I follow Emilio.
Yeah. That's the gym where my dad's from. My dad was a little bit older, than them, but that's the gym where they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are a lot of good fighters. Ragan Dial's he's from a mountain. Ugas from there over there too.
Yeah.
And from Santiago. They're all from Santiago,
And your dad swam over here.
Well, my dad, right? He tried to escape the first time.
Yeah.
And they put him in prison for 2 years, and they only fed him a spoonful of rice twice a day and a cup of sugar water.
Yeah.
For a month straight, that's what they fed him. Nothing else.
Yeah.
When he had got out, he was out for about 3 weeks, and one of his friends, they give you day passes, especially if you're not doing violent crimes or something.
Mm-hmm.
They give you day passes so you go see your family,
Mm-hmm.
So one of his friends out on a day pass, and he's like, I got to leave this place. So they got up, they packed all their shit, and they left. My dad didn't tell anyone but my godfather.
Mm.
My godfather, he asked my godfather if he wanted to go. My godfather said no. He gave my dad some money. And he went over. They're in the forest for about 2 days.
Wow.
And then from there, they had to wait for it to go dark before they started swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
over there by Guantanamo, where Guantanamo Bay is. Just over there in the bay, they swim across the bay.
Right.
My dad swam. If you don't do it at night, they shoot you on sight because they'll see you.
Mm-hmm.
And he swam across, and his friend died. His friend drowned.
Mm.
And my dad made it to the other side, and he was hiding out, and he see that a sign in English, and he knew it was in America. Well, he knew it was in Guantanamo Bay.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's his story, and there's countless stories of it like that,
Yeah.
Some people they do it on a raft.
Yeah.
Some people they do it swimming. One of my dad's other friends did it swimming as well,
Yeah.
But that's how everyone's escaping in the original time,
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
Luckily, you make it on American soil, you're considered a political prisoner, and they give you papers, green card. Well, not anymore because of other political things,
Mm-hmm.
But my dad said that when he was on the base, they treated him really good.
Mm-hmm.
That their soldiers were really nice to him.
Mm. And listen, I always said, I haven't started doing it yet, but I always said when I have children, I'm going to always take my children back home to where I'm from in Cleveland. And even more heartbreaking is the fact that the house that I actually grew up in back home is broke, is like demolished and gone now. But I always said that I would take my kids back because even though they're not from there, they need to know that where they come from, where I come from, and everything that they have, they need to know where it started, where it began. And so, and I'm an extension of my dad. My dad did not allow me to grow up the way that he grew up. He grew up going back to the story that you told where, hey, when there's a group of guys on one side of the street, you cross over and walk on the other side of the street. My dad literally had to cross over and walk on the other side because if he didn't, it was going to be a scrap. Somebody was going to get hurt. And 9 times out of 10, it wasn't going to be him, So my dad didn't want me to grow up like that. But my dad allowed me to see what was going on. And he said, this is why I took you out of here, because I don't need you to go through that. And I intend to do the same things with my kids. And I want to know how you feel about that story about your dad. If you use that story as, even though you didn't go through it, and essentially he went through it so that you wouldn't have to. How do you look at that story that you just told us?
Well, I mean, I'm grateful I didn't have to swim across an ocean,
No doubt.
But it doesn't matter where you're from. We all go through our own wars,
Yeah.
I mean, where I'm from in Vegas, I mean, I'm from Northtown. I'm from downtown Vegas, Northtown. It's not a good area either. I mean,
right.
I've seen people get shot in front of me. I've been shot at. I've been shot at twice for running.
Yeah.
So it's not as far as like that goes. It's. I mean, we're all from bad areas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what boxing is.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of boxers they come from bad areas.
Right.
But I've lived in Cuba.
Mm.
I lived in Cuba for 8 months when I was 7 years old, so I really got to know the culture. I got to know, my family and all that stuff. I lived there for a long time, went to school there.
Mm-hmm.
And I go there a lot, I know the country pretty well,
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, it's like when Michael, right, in The Godfather, right, he went back to Sicily after he had murdered Salasso, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he got to see what his family country is,
Right.
That's how it is.
Right.
So, I mean, I did get to see Cuba. I know what Cuba's like.
Mm-hmm. You have pride in what your dad was able to do.
Of course. I mean, what my dad was able to do is impressive,
It's unbelievable.
I mean, he risked his life to get the out of that country.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to explain, It's like he always wanted to go back. He doesn't like being here.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't let him go back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sad part.
Mm-hmm.
His happiness is over there.
Mm.
And he cannot go back. So, I mean, to me, it's not really to me, it's sad, you know?
Yeah.
But if he never came here, I'd never been born.
Yeah.
Nor my sister, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a weird situation with that. You know how I feel about that. I got mixed emotions about that.
I'm just glad you were able to tell that story on this podcast. I know the story. I didn't know it at length the way that you just told it. But when people look at you and they say, "Oh, he ain't got experience. He wasn't an Olympian. He ain't got no amateur experience. He didn't win national tournaments, so on and so forth." Now people, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have more respect for who you are as a fighter and as a man. And that's the point of this Porterway podcast, is so that people understand that we're athletes. We try to do things at the highest level, but at the end of the day, we're still human and we have our own lives to live. We got battles that we fight in and out of the ring. Y'all just see it on fight night, you know? So behind the glitz and glamour, there's always a little bit of struggle. And I'm glad that you were able to make it through your struggles and be a great extension of who your father grew you up to become. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on the show today too.
No doubt.
Talking that craziness.
I tell you, man, if people knew the full story,
yeah,
they'd have so much more respect. But it's better if they don't, you know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's better. One day, one day it'll come, you know.
Yeah.
But nobody knows the full story, you know.
I've said that about myself.
And Rolly, I seen Shawn say you're gonna take his kids back. One day I seen the other day you say you have some kids. So are you gonna take Javante and Devin back to Cuba?
They'd get their ass whooped by every single little Cuban boxer over there.
Oh man!
all right, we're gonna let them go.
They're gonna get their ass whooped by every Cuban boxer over there.
I didn't think it was going to go that way.
I'm gonna just say it like this: there's a few up and coming guys over there, shit, right now.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Cuba or the U.S.
Wait, what?
You rooting for Cuba or U.S. when they're boxing in the Olympics?
I'm gonna just say it like this: Andy Cruz is Keyshawn Davis's dad.
Oh, come on!
He's whooped that motherfucker like 6 times.
I told y'all we should have got him off. I told y'all.
Not this time. You'll see.
And like, I'm gonna tell you like this. I mean, I give 2 shits about that because I don't really. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just saying it's gonna be an ass whooping again.
Nah, this is like Pacquiao Mark.
I got Keyshawn getting it this time, but
hey, yeah, I got Keyshawn getting it too. Hey, Roller, we gonna let you go on that note, man. You done hit the soft spot.
I get Rolly.
Hey, have a good one, boss.
I'm sorry. It's not like it didn't happen like 6 times prior.
Dang.
We gonna get into that, but we'll talk to you later. All right, boss.
Catch you.
all right, Rolly.
Yeah.
All right, Rolly. Hilarious. That is Rolly for you.
For any fan that was uncomfortable with the F-bomb that Zittel dropped a couple weeks ago, they're not gonna be happy about this week's episode.
As we were recording that right there. I was thinking like, all right, we're gonna have to figure out a way to blank some of them out and edit some of them.
He said a lot of them.
He said a lot of them.
I just be laughing.
And my thing is, I want everybody to come on here and be themselves and everything. But I realized maybe once we got halfway through this, we're about 20 episodes in, and this young kid I care a lot about down there in DC. He's a young boxer. He texted me one day, "Hey, Mr. Porter, just wanted to say hi, and I've been watching your podcast, and you're doing a great job." And that, as he had texted me that, I was having a conversation with someone, and they were telling me, or my dad, he was telling me, "Hey, people don't like you and your language on there, so you gotta, kind of police yourself." And then I got the text message from the kid. I was like, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, he's watching this. I got to clean it up." So for him, and for all the other youngsters out there, we'll figure it out. Probably half of that will be kind of like, little, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're gonna have to figure out a way to blank some of them out, but good character, man. Funnier. Say again.
Bleeps. Sometimes I used to think, especially growing up, that bleeps made it funnier. Like when you would bleep out the curse word and Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully it does. And I'm gonna go ahead. Sorry, Rolly, to edit you and censor you like this, but it's a little bit much. It's a little bit much, but
Yeah,
it's a
but
good
and you're not
time.
taking away what he actually is saying or the
Yeah,
point
for
of what
sure.
he's saying. Just cleaning up the language a little bit, no issue.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of funny. We're like, Rolly, we need more characters like you, and then he does it, and then we're like, okay, actually, we're gonna have to censor that, but
Yeah, because it's like you got to know how you got to be.
Hey, once we get our Patreon going, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
there you go.
My co-host out here, his name is Kenny Rice, and when PBC first kicked off on NBC, CBS, Spike, all those channels, Bounce Network, all that, the first show that they did, Sean, I'm sure you remember, and probably Carson, I don't know if you know, and you don't be knowing everything the way we
Herman Guerrero was my first guess, but
yeah, Guerrero and Keith was the main event, I believe, and Adrian Bronner was on the card too, but they had a meeting, and Kenny Rice, my co-host, he said he had a one-on-one meeting with Adrian. He said, I told him that canned stuff you do, you can't do it here. Don't come on here talking about I'm beating all the Mexicans and the Americans, Africans. He said, you can't do that on this network, so kind of want to do a little bit of that on this. Like, hey,
spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It was the Camp Man. But speaking of the Olympics, you tie right into that.
Yeah, man. It's going great so far. We are 4-1, I believe, at this point. I sent y'all some notes. I got them late myself, but I just thought it would be cool.
And this is Sunday afternoon for anyone that's going to be confused about the records at this time.
There you go.
For what it's worth.
Yeah.
Because somebody hear this on Tuesday and be like, man, they're actually 4-6-1. And
yeah. It's going great. Last night was a really good night. Ginny Fuchs did her thing last night against a Russian fighter. And she looked really good. To this point, Keyshawn Davis, funny that Rolly brought him up. Keyshawn Davis has looked the best so far. Yeah. He was really sharp. That was last night as well. Yeah, he was really sharp last night.
Yeah, he looked clean in the fight I see.
Mm-hmm. He's my pick. He's my pick to win gold, I think, of any of them.
Yeah. If it goes away, it should go. He'll meet the Cuban in the championship. I'm not sure the Cuban's name, but Cruz. Yeah. And I got, so when we recorded with those guys, I kept looking at Keyshawn and I don't know them that well, but I said, man, this dude he's a little different. I see I don't see very many amateur fighters this confident. And sure enough, last night, everybody comes out smiling. Some people come out, maybe doing a little bit to their, to the music that they come out to. I don't think anybody gets to pick the music. He comes out looking at the camera. He's like, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? And he went in, and the way he just went out in that first fight that he had on, what would it be, Sunday night or Saturday night? He looked spectacular. I mean, he looked virtually flawless. I would agree that right now where he's at, I think that his confidence is high. He turned pro, had a couple of fights as a pro. So I think coming back here to do this, I think he just wants to grab a medal. I think he wants to grab the gold, and then he wants to go on and become a world champion in boxing. So it's last night was really good for the US.
It's almost like Keyshawn has to get Cruz. Before I go pro, I got to get him. Yeah. I got to get this dude.
And they might end up meeting in the pros at some point too.
Yeah.
But I think Keyshawn's the best.
What'd you say?
I don't know what you
Sean?
said, Zittel.
Oh no, it's always tricky for a guy in Cuba to be able to compete in the pros, with the politics they have over there. So I really hope. Yeah, I hope Cruz can find a way to get over here when it's done. But go ahead, finish up, Carson. Sorry.
No, you're good.
The other interesting thing is that Keyshawn has the number 1 seed in his next fight. Another interesting thing is he's got 7 days off. So, or 5 or 6 or 7 days off. So he doesn't fight again until next weekend, Friday next week. So like a total of 6 or 7 days off.
Do you think that benefits or hurts him?
I think it benefits him, to be honest with you. I don't think that I think that it would be better to get some rest. And not to say that his first fight was hard or anything like that, but I imagine the rest of these guys are fighting every maybe 2 or 3 days. Yeah. And so for him to not have to go out there and expend that energy for that length of time, I think that there's enough going over there, and he's got enough to keep him dialed in mentally that everything else is going to take care of itself physically for him. But the interesting thing is that he's got the number 1 seed next weekend in his weight class, but he's beat this guy twice. So and this is what I was seeing. I was saying when we interviewed all those guys and women that when we got off with them, I said, I see something on this team that is a little rarer. And that's the fact that these guys have and women that they all have
this team.
Yeah, this team has experience, international experience. And so when you're going up against a guy who's the number 1 seed, but you're like, yo, I beat you twice. Yeah. I mean, where's the confidence at? You know what I mean? And where do you feel you can have some success? You know, so same thing with Ginny. I saw her last night, Delante, Tiger Johnson. Those 3 fighters specifically out of the 5 who have fought, those 3 fighters, I was able to see some techniques that you only see at the highest level in international Olympic competition. And the fact that they're using those techniques says a lot to what they're going to be able to do moving forward in the games.
Yeah. And Ginny was one that we mentioned when we interviewed them, that she went to the Olympics last time but didn't fight. So that obviously factors in. She mentioned she thinks nerve-wise that would help. Yeah.
She actually ended up winning a split decision last night. And I didn't agree with the split. I thought it should have been unanimous across the board. I don't know what the other judges were seeing, but I could tell that when she heard the decision being split, then she didn't seem like confused. Like when I heard, I was like, "What?" She didn't seem confused, but she didn't seem worried. Once she got the decision, she seemed like she confirmed to herself, "I got that one out of the way. Now I'm ready to do some real work." So
and Tiger seemed very excited to get the decision. That was a really close fight, and I don't think it really needed to be. I think he fought an Argentinian who was a good fighter. Really brought it, but I thought Tiger, when he fought on the outside, he was good, but the left hand kept coming down, and any time that dude threw any type of right hand, it was landing. Puts him down with a left, ironically.
We talked about it.
I just thought he just could have been easier.
I think the experience of a 3-minute round is where he is or had some struggles in that fight. I think you have to be consistent. This is something I've learned in life, and you guys can probably in your lives confirm what I'm saying, that if you don't have consistency in whatever it is that you're doing, you may come up short somewhere. And I think that through the course in a boxing match, in the course of 3 minutes, you have to be consistent at what works. And the guys who have it here can remain consistent across the board. Of course, there's things that come into play like conditioning and fatigue and things like that. But I don't think he was fighting through fatigue. I don't think he was fighting through his conditioning. I think he was fighting through, this is a 3-minute round and what can I do different? What? And I think that he made the fight a little harder than it needed to be. He should have kept the fight on the outside, like you said, and he's got to keep his hands up. I'm very surprised at how many of these Olympic fighters' hands are below the waist. And like I was telling my co-host, on one side of it, it works because the guy on the other side doesn't know what punch is coming, doesn't know which hand is coming up. And if you're fast and you got good reflexes, you can get away with things like that. But I was really surprised to see how many guys keep their hands down. But moving forward, Delante's thing, he likes to pull back. And when he pulls back, that left hand is below, is by his waist. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
He's got another tough fight in this next one.
Adjustment.
Sorry.
Yeah, and the adjustment I think needed to be a little quicker. No, you're good. I just think the left hand just needed to come up, like you said. So I think
his hand speed,
getting that. The Duke.
His hand speed did jump out to people. I noticed that were watching on Twitter and everything. So
for sure,
he's got talent, Delante Johnson.
Yeah, And I really think that fight could have been easier. Just fought on the outside, keep your defense a little more responsible. The Duke Ragan fight, I was surprised that the kid that he fought didn't get a point taken because that was
a tough fight to watch.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's good to go through, I guess. If you're Duke, you really got like probably your ugliest possible fight out of the way. But like he continuously got hit with rabbit punches.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's throwing him down, which if you're the French fighter and the ref's not going to stop you from doing it, do it. I mean, we've kind of mentioned that before. Why would you not?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was not, like Ant said, that was not a fun fight to watch. It was.
He held it together, Carson. I give him that because I got frustrated watching.
Yeah, I would have been frustrated as hell. Man. Yeah.
The one thing
what was impressive to go back.
That's you, Zittel. Go ahead.
My internet. I'm sorry, y'all. No, just on Keyshawn, like we touched on earlier, he's been the most impressive fighter for us so far, which was expected. But in the pros, he's been walking people down, and then he was boxing beautifully in that first fight. To get to the round of 16, he had his hand at his waist, but he was doing it, I guess, the proper way. Slipping and sliding from shots and using his shoulder roll well. But it was real encouraging. Even beyond this tournament, just long term, like seeing this guy who's been walking people down to start his career fight off the back foot and have a great defense there and a jab so yeah, Keyshawn, is the goods. That's nothing new, but we're finding it out even more as he's showing more to his game. So
yeah. I'm telling you, when we talk about the fighters who will make it to the next level and be successful at the next level, I think everybody looked at Errol Spence Jr. knowing that he was going to be everything that he is now. And I think it's because you could see the maturity in him on the Olympic level. No, he wasn't skillful enough to win a gold medal. And no, he wasn't, I guess for the sake of words, mature enough at that level to beat those guys. But you could see like, this kid is going to be something else once he moves into the pro ranks. And the same thing for Keyshawn. You can see that there's a level of confidence and a level of maturity in him beyond the 4 fights that he's now won as a professional. But if you go and look at his what he's accomplished as a amateur on the international level, you can say like this dude he's not exactly a grown man amongst boys, but he's definitely much more mature than a lot of them. And he's going to make it to the next level and have some humongous success as a professional fighter. So that goes without saying.
And I look forward to Troy Isley too, just because between the last time we talked, guys, and now, I didn't realize he beat Israel Madrimov in international competition. Right. And now Madrimov is on DAZN. Madrimov's being touted as a guy that could fight a Jermell Charlo or a Castaño. So what does that make Troy Isley? He was able to best him in it. Yeah. So, I'm just looking forward to seeing what Troy Isley brings to us too between now and the next show.
Yeah. I think the other side I'm looking at so far through the Olympics is they have 5 judges and they're using all 5 scores now. And I think that's what I'm still trying to figure out mathematically what it really means. And because I think I got it. And then there's a decision that happened. Is like, I was looking at the numbers wrong, so Ginny's fight last night, she wins 3-2 on the scorecards in the first 2 rounds. And then somehow, some way, it's like flipped and she wins. Like, I'm messing up right now. All I know is that she won a split decision and I didn't see a split decision coming from her. So, kind of speaking to Troy and Madrimov, it could be a situation where he might've snuck one in on Madrimov, but we don't want to take any credit from Troy, but sure. I think that at the end of the day, that does happen on the Olympic level too, where you're able to sneak in a decision and move forward. I think if anything, Duke may have snuck in. Not Duke. Delante may have snuck in a decision, and it may work out and for the best for him in terms of him being able to kind of get loose, get out there, really feel it, and get in the ring and do what he's got to do. And I think now he'll be much more prepared moving forward. Probably
a fair assessment of that. One random Olympics thing I was watching, I think it was Friday night. there's a Russian gymnast, and he's doing the floor routines, doing all these crazy flips. He did the vault. He ruptured his Achilles in April of this year.
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, wait. And I'm watching. I looked up and read like 3 different articles just to confirm that I wasn't like imagining something, because that's typically like a 12-month recovery, and he's, less than a year later. But no, they've
not
been
cry in Russia. In Russia,
yes,
not like
they
in
don't.
America. We're not cry.
Hey, y'all got to edit that.
You didn't like Zitel's Russian impression?
No, I was just messing with it. Zittel can get everybody, actually.
Yeah, Zitel's pretty solid.
I ain't gonna say what he be doing behind the scenes, but he got everybody down in the boxing game.
Our producer gonna come on and be like, I ain't editing nothing else.
Yeah. What sport, before we transition away from the Olympics, what sport would you not want to play the most in the Olympics? I saw some people saying it, and I think water polo, because it's like a physical sport and you're in water. Yeah. I would be rattled.
I was thinking rowing.
Yeah. I think I would be good at badminton. That would be one that I think I'll lean towards.
Hey, Shawn, I'm like, we can do that 2-on-2.
Yeah, the badminton.
Yeah, I was always looking at that.
We used to throw it down over it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of sports. Yeah, they added skateboarding in there.
Yeah.
I think
3-on-3 basketball now.
I think the bike. I couldn't be on the bike that long. They doing 70 miles, bro.
And it looked like a big ass bear on the bike.
Hey, no, it was crazy when I was a kid.
Bear.
When I was a kid, I used to ride the bike. I was like, I could do all that shit. Man, that's a different world.
Yeah, like the Wayne.
Pass out. Yeah.
So, water polo. I watched this a second
Henry.
Would you?
I don't know. Whatever Mark Henry used to deadlift, and it looked like you about to shit your intestines out. I don't know, man.
Oh man.
Just nasty. But yeah, I mean, as far as the week in boxing, the big news of the week, WBO.
Before we go there, Carson, my bad. Somebody asked me, so why don't Shawn just go and compete for the Olympics so we get all the rings? I said, no, that's not how it works.
Hopefully to win.
It's like, why don't we just select Shawn, Earl, Terrence? I said that's not. It's different. But
how shattered would your confidence be, SP, if you went over there and somehow lost the decision?
I don't even know. And I didn't think about it until last night, but we started talking about that. There's a young lady that fought yesterday, 14-4 professionally. And so 18 fights, you over there. Like, it makes sense if you got 5 fights, less than 10 fights to be fighting in the games. And so we were wondering, like, how do you get back into the Olympics if you're a professional? And my understanding is, beyond the cutoff being 30, 39 years old, 38 years old, I believe, I think you just have to qualify. You have to basically go amateur and qualify for your country, and then go and qualify your weight class in the Olympic Games. And so they're saying that, hey, any fighter who's professional can do it. They just got to go through the same process. And so the long story short is, you're looking at 15 to 20 fights.
It makes no sense
just to get to the Olympic Games, to have 5 fights, maybe 6 fights to win a gold medal, so.
Yeah. And it's been a process. They've been trying to adjust.
Earn a grand total of how much money?
Hey, chill out, man. It's for your country. A gold medal.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm with you. I just mean, if you're a Shawn Porter and you're already making money, I don't think you go back to fighting.
Do it for the kids, man.
That's just what I would imagine.
Now it's interesting, because some years ago when they first announced it, I thought to myself, I shook my head. I was just like, I can't do that. But I really wanted to win a medal, in 2008. And I like literally thought about it, like, that would be cool. But I was like, I can't do it. That's just, it doesn't really make sense for me anymore. So I think it's interesting, though, that they do allow some of the experienced professionals to get back in there. There's a guy that fought Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillen, the French kid. He got knocked out by Peter Quillen. I can't recall his name.
Nadal,
yeah. And he goes and he fought. and he fought in the 2016 games.
Thankfully, he didn't see Peter Quillen in the 2016 games. He was looking at the field. He's like, all right, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know how far he made it in those games, but, just the fact that
Chocolate's doing well, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't heard from Chocolate in a minute.
I was going to say, I haven't really heard much from him.
He's doing some outreach stuff. He's really involved in his church. I feel like I owe him a phone call. So, yeah.
Last time I seen him, he was dancing.
Holler at him.
Last time I seen him, he was dancing in the ring.
Oh, you trying to be funny?
So, Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford ordered by the WBO.
That's mind blowing, right?
Yeah.
I know because everybody, I'm sure, like, I think, Carson, you said, hey, did you know about this?
Yeah.
Was that like the first thing you asked me?
Yeah, because it was like, so I see it, and then
Carson goes in the group text and just starts talking. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, because then
WBA. I'm like, what? WBO?
WBO, never WBA.
Yeah, my bad.
But yeah, so it comes out, and I'm just like, I was of course excited. Like that's my first reaction. But then everyone's like, oh man, why never bring it up? Then I'm like, Shawn's typically, transparency. Like you're typically very transparent about stuff, and so I was like, you would have mentioned that, and he was like, yeah, fair enough. I'm very transparent and let you know, like, hey, we can't say too much about the fight, but we are going to say, like, hey, we're happy to see the announcement. We being myself and my dad were surprised at the announcement. And while I'm texting you, he's calling me, and we're really just kind of in that space right now where it's like, wow, like didn't see this coming. This is a pleasant surprise, so at this point, it's just a matter of time. I think, I don't know what day he's on. What day would it be? 26, day 26 of accepting what they say. He's got 30 days to accept the fight or something like that. It's like a 30-day window of negotiating or a purse bid. But as they say, business of boxing will take care of that. But I think everyone, I think all parties.
Do you feel like this is their side? Do you feel like, because, the belief is that, like, the WBO has a good relationship with Top Rank. Do you feel like this was that side kind of help pushing to make this happen so that Terence could get a fight with you? Or do you feel like this was just the WBO acting independent of PBC or Top Rank and just saying, hey, we want to sanction this fight now? And,
or do you even care?
I was gonna say I didn't really think about that, like who initiated this, who said this is what needed to be. I think more than anything is just a lot of
more like, do you think Terence is behind it? But
I don't know.
Or not
I don't know.
And honestly, he seems excited about it too. So it seems like
I'm just more than anything, I'm grateful to see something like that happen. And I mean, to be honest with y'all, so like Rolly was talking about
everything.
Yeah, he was talking about everything. But one thing he talked about was, how being a gold medalist, winning the gold medal was his dream, and he had to get rid of that and move on to bigger dreams. My quote unquote dream, or my aspirations of being a professional, came when I saw Hagler versus Hearns. And for me, it wasn't just the fight that happened. I saw a lot of people in the back, and I could hear the noise of the video that I was watching. And I just thought to myself, like, I want that someday. I want to be able to fight in front of so many people and have everybody on their feet one day. And that's kind of how my dreams of being a professional fighter started. And so I think fast forward, this situation right here will kind of bring it all in. I think that I don't think I can get a bigger crowd than this. I don't think the world could be any more excited about something that I'm doing in boxing more than they are about this, So I think the news was awesome when I heard it. And I think that getting everybody talking right now, everybody's excited about me and Terence and the fight, the WBO, all that. I think this is exactly where I wanted to be in boxing is happening right now. And again, to Rolly, I don't think that the sport of boxing is dying. And I think that there's moments like this that keep it more than alive. So
yeah, especially moving from the frustration of last night, we should have had Fury and Wilder 3. So it's like,
I forgot about that.
yeah, should have been this weekend, but
Yeah.
no, I think it's exciting. We'll see what happens. Like you said, obviously business will take care of itself. That's kind of how that goes.
Carson, prediction, Carson. Come on, me and you, baby.
No, once the fight is made, we will absolutely predict it. I've predicted it before. Go listen to an old episode. I was muted.
What episode was it?
I don't know. I'll have to look.
442. I don't.
No, I have no idea what it was, but it was back then. But I was muted shortly after. But
I'm looking forward to it. I say, if Terence can't drop Shawn, stop him, because ain't no such thing as getting Shawn Porter respect by punching.
Hey, at the end of the day, I love
those ice skates.
No, ain't no ice skate.
No, he working.
Yeah, I love commentating. I love everything that I do. I love being on TV and all that, but.
Do you wear those while you commentate?
No, but a lot of people think that I retired. A lot of people think that, So I just
baby. You
need to let everybody know.
In Connecticut, right? You found a ring in the Hamptons.
Man, listen, my dad hit up everybody. My dad was like, I can't make it. Shout out to John Scully, Iceman Scully. I'll be seeing him tomorrow, actually. Wow. And we're gonna be working tomorrow, while I'm here. So my dad, he said, he looked at, he said, who we know in Connecticut? I'm like, for what? He's like, we got to keep you moving. I said, oh yeah, you're right. So he hit up John Scully. Scully's known for doing. He's actually a boxing historian. Do you know Scully?
Yeah, the Iceman.
Yeah,
he used to commentate for Tuesday night fights too, and great in boxing mind.
Hey, listen, Scully is Shawn Zittel 2.0.
Oh, don't disrespect Shawn. Nobody better than Shawn.
Was Zitel's young?
No,
I was gonna say because he's got, not only does he know this stuff, like he's got papers and papers.
He fought.
And he fought. So that's Shawn Zittel 2.0.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be with 2.0 tomorrow.
He'll get there someday. But no, we'll see how that. And there's some fights coming up this week. I mentioned the disappointment of Fury Wilder.
This is the one that can make you immortal, though, Shawn. And you know that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
If you can beat Terence Crawford, this makes you an immortal in boxing. One of the greats.
That fight ain't next though. What fight's next?
Well, that's why I was trying to just move past it, because we don't want to comment too much on it. And they're like, "Hey, so this fight happens."
Hey, hold on. Zittel, how do you feel about the Joyce win last night? Where does that put him in the heavyweight position? He got the knockout. I just know the man can punch hard, and he may be very slow, but he's strong and can punch hard. And I don't think he beats Anthony Joshua or Wilder or Fury, but Usyk, who's getting the title shot. Like, I saw him struggle with just the strength of a Derek Chisora, so I would have liked to have seen Joyce get that opportunity, but. Joyce, I'd like to see him fight the winner of Ajagba and Frank Sanchez. That's coming up on that co-main event to Wilder and Fury 3. I think that'd be a good scrap. And he's clearly earned his way to that second tier of heavyweights who are guys, knocking on the door for a title shot. So, yeah, Joe, that's my thoughts on Joe Joyce. He can definitely punch, and he's strong.
What you said about that second tier is exactly what I was thinking. Like, I don't think he beats any of those top guys, but he has the power. His punches are very slow, but he has the power, and so he's never out of a fight. And I mean, beat Dubois, who was supposed to be the guy coming up.
Yeah, that was a great victory.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely right there, and I don't think he's a boring fight against any of those guys. I think he would test them to an extent. But speaking of the UK, though, next fight coming up.
Consider the prospect of the division period, not just the UK. So absolutely,
Conor Benn, Adrian Granados.
Adrian don't get it done. Don't rob him. Don't rob Adrian.
Eddie Hearn's backyard.
That came quick.
Conor Benn will absolutely stop him.
Oh, come on, man.
Is there anything? No, of course not.
Yeah.
I think Granados, he's just been, we talk about going through those wars, and I think he's been through too many. Mm-hmm. You've seen it in his last couple of fights. Like, he gets absolutely flattened by Danny Garcia. And then he fights like on the untelevised, like undercard of, I think it was Ariola Ruiz.
Yeah.
Gets a draw, but it's like,
yeah.
So I think he's just been through too much, and I think Benn is a freight train right now. That dude is like, he's just chugging along, and he wants to keep on going. I think he's an explosive enough guy where I think he stops him.
Agreed, 100%.
Is there anything you need to see, any of you guys, from Conor Benn to kind of validate where he's at or where he wants to go?
I don't think this fight does it. I like to see him. You know, we got to find someone, or they have to find someone who's just a little bit more skillful and tough to, you know, take him some rounds and challenge him. But I don't think this fight is in Eddie Hearn's backyard. I mean, like, this is he should probably be going in the ring, getting out in 2 or 3 rounds, and then going to sit down and eat some cake and watch the rest of the fights. You know what I mean?
He's the main event, so.
Okay, well then shoot, go in the house and
cake anyway. I mean, cake's not bad. Yeah,
go in the house and throw some tennis shoes on and kick it. You know what I mean? So
I feel like Eddie Hearn's probably got some tasty desserts over there too. I don't think he spares any expense. They're not going to be eating Entenmann's or anything like that.
Tasty desserts.
Yeah. What about you, Zittel?
I think you're right, Shawn, because like Carson said, explosiveness. I think he's really making people believe in his explosiveness. That the kid has got talent. He's got some speed and power, and I think he'll display that against Granados. But like you said, it's not the right opponent to show us more of what's in his bag. You know, I think he'll just further confirm and look impressive like he did against Sammy Vargas, and he'll stop Granados and he'll continue his ascent up the division. But to really see him beyond what he's already shown us, like you said, he's got to fight a guy that's going to force him to box more so that we know how he fights going backwards. You know, we've seen him lately look good going forward. So, but
if anything,
to
Granados
put him on there,
he'll do that while he's in there at least, because Granados is going to come forward. So if anything, while Granados is on his feet and fully charged up, that, you know, we might get to see Conor Benn have to fight off the back foot a little bit. But yeah, PBC on Fox card coming up as well. Probably tune into a little bit of that. But yeah.
And Shawn Boyd's back in the ring.
Yeah.
He about to let him out the bag, Carson. Put him back in the ring.
Oh, is that the third Algieri?
Yeah, I thought that boy hung it up.
Yeah, no, that'll be the whole episode next week. Is previewing that. That card.
Let my man out the bag.
And I think that's also the night they're doing the Dipset versus the Locks versus battle. I think.
Nice.
I'm over versus battles.
I'm never over the Locks, but
one of my
or
favorites.
Dipset.
was that Jada group?
Oh yeah, Jadakiss, Sheik, Styles P, the real SP. And Dipset, we could be listing them for the rest of the show, but yeah, now some fights coming up. It's always good to have fights on, and then the Olympics. So if you need to find fights, they'll be there.
Hey, boxing looks like it's gonna go out on the bang this year, man.
Yeah,
if everything goes right, this might be a great year and another year for boxing.
Yeah.
Hey, fight of the year. You got anything to say about it yet? Last week they still got you. Hey, well, all right, hey man. Let's see what Shawn got anything to say about that.
Something been on my mind since we had this conversation. One of the and we'll hopefully end right here, but one of the fan questions asked who were some of the best fighters I've seen that didn't make it. And ever since that question came up, because there's a lot that I know of. The first one that I named was Juan McPherson. Check him out, see what he was about. Unbelievable fighter. Another one that came to mind from Cincinnati, Ohio, Slick Ricky Williams Jr. was an amazing fighter. I know. Are you familiar with Slick Rick, Shawn?
I'm familiar with Lottie Dottie, but
my pick was
I know Ricky Williams. Amazing fighter. Check, just search him up. Slick Rick, Ricardo Williams Jr. Won a silver medal in the 2000 games, and then just was not able to continue his career into the pros. He turned pro. I think he turned pro on HBO. His debut, not on the undercard of HBO. His debut was like the co-main or the first fight on HBO. I mean, he was that big of a deal. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to keep it together and put it together as a pro. So that's been on my mind ever since. I don't know if it's this Olympic thing that's got me really thinking. There's a lot of amazing fighters that kind of get their big start here at the Olympic Games. We're going to see it this quad, and we'll continue to see it. So that was my big thing with the games this year, especially with trying to broadcasting on the podcast and also being a part of the commentary team, is just to let everybody know, like, everybody you like now, this is where they came from, and anybody you're gonna be seeing next year or the next few years, this is where they come from. So get hip now. We don't have the opportunities that the NFL and the NBA have, where you pick up these guys in high school and you watch their careers from high school until they retire from the NBA. So this is the best way you can pick up on these fighters really soon and follow their career. So it's been fun so far. It's gonna get much better. Yeah. Start the music.
Champ, I got a name. Rock Allen.
You think Rock? You think Rock? You think Rock was one?
Rock Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nazim's son.
Both of them really. Did Tiger? He didn't turn pro?
Rock Marcy.
I just know Rock Allen.
Okay, I think they both turned pro. Yeah, I'm tight with them. Yeah, so anybody who doesn't know the Allen brothers from Philly, they came up right there with Lamont Peterson. Rock beat Lamont to represent the United States in the 2004 games, I believe. So that's where it all starts, So. But yeah, I think you're right. Rock's another good name there. Yeah, man. Start the music. We done.
Hey, remember this. No matter how hard you got it, somebody always has it harder.
It has a list of these written down.
I was gonna say, is that what we're gonna?
No. And when I wake up mornings, my lady already knows it's time to go. I'm listening to something motivated. She's like, "What the hell you about to do at work?" I'm about to get it done, baby.
You got some motivational on every morning?
Every morning. I listen to something positive and funny. That's how I start my day off. I won't start my day off with full of shit. Positivity and funny every morning. That's always been my thing. Positivity and something, but that sets the tone for my day.
And I do remember you telling me that before. Yeah.
You use keys. I make a card. I use a pen to make a Van Gogh.
No, don't do that.
I can't drop some bars. I can't drop some Czarface bars.
All right, y'all. This is the Porter Way. Y'all have a great day. What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ed. Follow me on IG, Ed with 2 T's.
This is the Porter Way Podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porter Way Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're gonna do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brendel.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.